Hello and welcome to the Tottenham America channel. Today we will be previewing Tottenham's meeting against Fulham at Craven Cottage as they travel to their London opponents for the 21st round of the Premier League on Monday, January 23rd, 2023 at 3 p.m. Eastern. That is 12 noon Pacific time. It will be at Craven Cottage, so an away game for Spurs. The referee will be Englishman Paul Tierney, and you can watch this match in the US on USA Network. Let's start with each team's team form. So for Fulham, they have had quite the success in their last few matches. Going back to their Boxing Day match where they won 3-0 against Crystal Palace. They followed that up with wins against Southampton, Leicester, Hull City in the FA Cup, and a big one against Chelsea. But they did fall in their last match to Newcastle away from home at St. James's Park. But that still means that they've got 4 wins out of their last 5 in the Premier League. Tottenham, though, looking more like a relegation team in the Premier League. Since the Boxing Day match where they drew 2-2 with Brentford, they lost 2-0 to Aston Villa on the 1st of January. Then they pulled out 2 wins against Crystal Palace and Portsmouth in the FA Cup before going on to lose a big North London derby to Arsenal at home and drop a 2-goal lead at Man City to lose 4-2. So Tottenham currently sit in 5th place with 33 points. Fulham sit in 7th place on 31 points, which means that if Fulham win this match, they will go above Tottenham in the table, of course, and they'll be on the same games played. So this is going to be kind of a big one for Tottenham if they want to keep their head in the top 4 race, because, if we get overtaken by Fulham, our form has just been dropping so much in the last couple of weeks that I'm kind of scared for the next couple of games because we have Fulham, then we've got Preston in the FA Cup. Still, I don't know how that's going to go. Then we have Man City. That's going to go like a horror show. Leicester, I don't know. Milan in the Champions League, I think I'm really scared for that one. That one's a little scary. But yeah, that's kind of how the team form looks for both teams.
As for injuries for Fulham, Neeskens Cabano is out with an Achilles tendon injury, and Shane Duffy has an illness. So only 2 players out for Fulham. For Spurs, still only 1 player in Lucas Moura out with an Achilles tendon injury. So both teams have quite a short injury list. Now moving on to projected lineups. In goal for Spurs, Hugo Lloris. Back 3 of Romero, Dyer, Davies. Davies, I think, will hold this spot in the starting lineup after Longley had a horror show against Man City, making some huge mistakes. Emerson and Sessegnon, I think Emerson will stay in after the goal he got against Man City and a great performance against Man City as well. Sessegnon will step in for Perisic, who had not a great performance against Man City. Højbjerg and Bentancur going strong in midfield, and then Kulusevski, Kane, and Son up top.
Yeah. Lloris has been laid. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Forster in.
I mean, Lloris has been so up and down. Man City, he was pretty good, but
he was okay. But I think
he made maybe one mistake. But Arsenal, completely horror show. We see Aston Villa too. It's like up and down for him, up and down constantly.
The big problem is the amount of errors he's making. He scored an own goal against Arsenal. He made an error for one of the goals against Man City. I can't remember which one it is. It was the Alvarez goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he completely missed the ball while trying to palm it out. Made a mistake against Aston Villa, and Brentford was the dire mistake to put it out for a corner. So the only good performance he's had since the return of the Premier League after the World Cup was Crystal Palace. And that was because our defense really shut them down, and they weren't posing too much of an attacking
Lloris
threat.
did make a couple good saves in that game. He made one great one in the first half against Crystal Palace, and also a couple in the second half.
Honestly, he's been just so poor recently, I wouldn't be surprised to see Forster replace him. Because I think we probably should have found a replacement for Lloris last transfer window in the summer.
We all know. I think Lloris will definitely go out this next summer.
Definitely.
And he's probably gonna go finish his career in his home country of France, probably.
Or even the MLS.
MLS, but
Yeah.
I think he wants to go to France, finish his
Yeah.
career in his home country.
That's a big problem with Spurs, is not kind of getting those replacements in early. We missed it with Lloris, so now we have to struggle through one whole season without a top-level goalkeeper and always being kind of shaky at the back.
And
we did that with Alderweireld and Vertonghen. We didn't have any good replacements for them, so we were stuck with their aging speed. There are so many more examples. We could see that with Moussa Dembele. We didn't have a good replacement for him immediately.
We didn't have a good replacement from him up until 2020.
Even, I know it's...
Which was Højbjerg.
Yeah. I know it's kind of hard to say, but we didn't plan for the future with Son because he's not that old, but you kind of have to always take the side of caution. Err on the side of caution. And we were in for Varat... what's his name? He's a Napoli winger now. It's Kvaratskhelia. He is a winger from Georgia who was at Rubin Kazan, and we were going in for him for like 3 mil, and we didn't even offer. And now he's at Napoli, and he is absolutely smashing it up. 7 goals and 7 assists in 15 matches. That's a big missed opportunity for us, I think. But yeah, it's
all our transfer business. We're still going for Pedro Porro. Still.
And now that our head of transfers is now locked away for 2.5 years because of his Juventus plus Valenza scandal, that means Daniel Levy's back in charge of the transfer most likely, which is not going to go very well.
Yeah. It's been the same thing over and over again with the managers not getting enough backing, and then they just want to they want the money. Like Levy wants the money. Levy wants to sell players, but Conte wants good players. He wants experience.
He wants to
win. Players who have won before. Players who can win.
Yeah. Our defense is going to stay the same most likely. Romero was top tier against Man City.
He was an absolute brick.
Dyer
was okay. He didn't make any huge mistakes.
Davey is probably the biggest liability out of the three. I think he was looking a little shaky, a little rash on his challenges.
But he was definitely nowhere near as bad as Longley, so he's definitely going ahead of Longley.
Yeah. Emerson dropped a man of the match performance last time out against Man City, so he's going to start. I was surprised.
He's been criticized so much, but I kind of want to see him getting better. I hope this is the start of that.
If we see a manager that comes in and plays a back four, Emerson's gonna thrive because he's not a back five player. He's not a wing back, in my opinion. I think he's a right back because his qualities are so much better defensively, and he's getting better offensively, but he's so much better suited defensively. So I think going into right back for him would be a very, very good option for him. Sessegnon on the other side, this is purely because Perisic was just really bad last game. I mean, he should have really done a little better for that goal that he missed, where it came off of Rico Lewis and onto the bar.
2 mistakes for 2 of the goals.
Yeah, and 2 mistakes for 2 goals. Højbjerg, Bentancur, no one really else. I mean, Sarr could get a look in, but I think both of them were pretty good.
Højbjerg showed excellent work rate against Man City. Bentancur looked a little shaky, but he was still pretty good. He was just his first game back from injury. Kulusevski
scored against Fulham, Man City, so he's going to start. Kane's going to start. Of course, Son is the question mark because he hasn't been great. Like, he scored a goal against Crystal Palace.
It could just be this season, but we don't know.
Or are we going to see Richarlison start? That's going to be a question
mark. I don't
think
we're going to see Richarlison start. He can't do well. He doesn't do well.
He can't do well on the left or on the wing. Yeah, that's true.
He has to be at striker.
Or do we see Heel? Do we see Brian Heel come back in?
But I don't think we'll see Heel. I don't think he's ready yet.
Honestly, he put a man of the match performance against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he is. But
what's to say he wouldn't?
Before that, he never really proved himself up until Crystal Palace.
Yeah. But now, he needs a chance to prove himself.
He does need a chance.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Son is replaced by Heel because Richarlison's a bit of a bonehead decision because he's a striker. He can't play on a wing. But Son, Heel is literally a like-for-like replacement with Son.
Yeah.
Dribbler.
I think if we wanted to put Richarlison in the wing, we have to have a cam, like attacking midfielder, an AM there. We need he would do well in a 4-2-3-1 because I believe Everton played like that.
Yeah.
And he would
play
left
mid. He also played striker a lot.
He also did play striker, but he would play with Calvert-Lewin in the starting 11, and he would play left mid.
Yeah. Or they'd go into a front 2.
Yeah.
But he's so much better as a striker, and we saw that with Brazil. It's going to be a very, very fun game. I say that with the most sarcasm possible. It's going to be an absolute horror show for Tottenham fans because we're going to be on edge the whole game. Fulham are looking like a new team under Marco Silva. They're looking like, I mean, they could go far this season the way they're playing. So I'm kind of scared, definitely.
We also have Brighton on our tails.
We also have Brighton on our tail, and they have a game in hand.
Yeah, they have a game in hand.
They have a game in hand.
And I believe also Brentford. They're literally, what?
Brentford are 1 point behind Fulham, yeah.
Yeah.
Same games played as us, but 1 point behind. So that's all kind of, a little bit scary. In terms of head-to-head, we've completely dominated in the last couple of years. Going back, our last meeting was in 2022 at the beginning of the season when we won 2-1. Højbjerg and Kane scoring for Tottenham. Mitrovic getting one back, and Richarlison somehow not scoring his first Premier League goal for Tottenham. One time he hit that incredible volley against the post. The other got ruled out for offside. But it's going to be an interesting match. My score prediction is that we draw 1-1.
I think we can get the win. When we have to get the win, we can. We did that against Crystal Palace, and I think we could do it again against Fulham. They lost against Newcastle, so the momentum is not with them. But it's clearly not with us either.
It's more with them than with us. They're looking like a top 4 team the way they're playing.
I think our defense can do well. I think Dyer and Romero will do well. Emerson's in good form. And I'm hoping our left side will pull off and we'll get the clean sheet, and I think we'll win 1-0.
Yeah.
I think Kulusevski will get the lone goal.
Kulusevski, yeah, he looks like he's going to be in scoring form. But that's it for our preview for Fulham versus Tottenham, an all-London affair on Monday evening. If you enjoyed, make sure you smash the subscribe button, hit the like button if you want to see more Tottenham content. And until next time,
come on, you Spurs!